So you play this very bold, bossy woman who really doesn't care what other people think. A lot of actresses might have been a bit nervous about taking this character on. Did you have any reservations?
I didn't have any reservations in taking the character on because I read the script and it reminded me of an Aaron Sorkin movie, or TV show, and I loved The West Wing. I watched every single episode of that show. I love all of his movies that he's made, and his play that he wrote, A Few Good Men. So it was definitely the story and the dialogue. It was in that world that I adore, and then also it's John Madden, who I adore. I worked with on The Debt, and then also I found her to be really inspiring. This political beast playing in the boys' club. I like characters that challenge the status quo, so I had zero reservations.
Because she's, as you said, I mean, she's very tough. Can you be tough when you need to be?
I can definitely be tough, but I'm not tough like Elizabeth. I mean, I'm tough, and then I'll say, I don't understand why this happened. Where's the breakdown in communication? Or I'm I become almost logical when I'm tough. I don't snap at people, or the worst thing is if I feel like I've hurt someone's feelings, because then I'll just think about it all day. I just when I'm tough, I try to remove emotion from it.
You're always described as fearless by directors and actors who work with you. Where do you think that comes from, and are you fearless in your everyday life?
I don't see myself as fearless. I see myself as, I mean, when I was playing Elizabeth Sloane, I was scared every day. When I would go home and I just thought, I've got to memorize 6 pages tonight, and I've got to show up tomorrow and act in front of Mark Strong and all these really great actors who are sitting there kind of staring at me throughout the scene while I'm talking. And I was always afraid that I would stumble on my lines, or I wouldn't, I just would drag the scene down because it was a lot of lifting this character. And so I covered it up with confidence, but I think also that's what Elizabeth, and that's what most characters do, is there's a way that they feel and then what they project. And usually those are two different things.
Are you fearless in the way of, I don't know, can you jump out of planes or, that kind of thing?
I'm terrified of jumping out of planes, but I will say there's certain things I love. Like I'm obsessed with jet skiing. I went on vacation and I'm always like, I need a jet ski. I love it. I got into a accident mortar crossing, which is a motorcycle that you ride on like a course. Mm-hmm. I had to have surgery because I had a terrible crash. So now jet skiing has replaced kind of that like need for speed on a small vehicle. But falling, I'm not interested in.
No, we can sit that one out.
Yeah, no.
This is a political movie, and
Mm-hmm.
with the elections coming up, are you sort of glued to CNN, or are you entertained? Are you horrified? Are you avoiding it?
Right now, I'm avoiding it because it actually, I've noticed, is starting to just cause such a cloud of depression in my life every time I turn on the news. And, it's a tough election to be involved, even as a woman. It's just tough to hear how women are talked about by candidates and also by media. And I've needed to take a step back, but I am definitely politically minded, and I will participate in voting.
Can you talk a bit about your non-profit organisation, the To Write Love on Her Arms?
Yeah, it's not my nonprofit
Mm-hmm.
organization, but it's a nonprofit organization that was really inspiring to me. I think most of us know someone that has committed suicide, and it's an organization that tries to get rid of the stigma of what depression is, and creates a safe place for people who do feel like they don't have anything to live for, that they can reach out. And yeah, it's important to me, especially in our society, because a lot of actors and artists, painters, writers have suffered with depression. We've seen situations where we've lost great artists, but there's a stigma that for some reason they can't come forward and say they're struggling or they're depressed. And I really hope that we're able to change that.
Because it's very common now with teenagers at school as well.
Absolutely, especially, I think with the internet, and that now there's this anonymous bullying and this whole idea of how many followers you have, and how, basically you have a direct score of your popularity, which thank God I didn't have that when I was in high school. But yeah, I think we now is a time we need to be more sensitive to what young people are going through.
Great, thank you.
Thank you very much.